Can we talk about Wake Up Dead Man, the third installment in the Knives Out world on Netflix? As you all know, I'm a mystery girly, and I really need somebody to talk to about this. If you haven't seen it, spoilers. But if you have seen it, then let's talk about it. So I have a theory that I haven't seen anybody talking about. I talked about it in a live last night, and nobody had noticed what I noticed. So we all know that Monsignor Wicks, played by Josh Brolin, was the first person who was killed. And what we know about Monsignor Wicks is that he is Prentice Wicks' grandson. Prentice Wicks, before he became a priest, was a widower, and he had one daughter named Grace, a harlot whore. And apparently she had been impregnated by some drifter, and that resulted in Monsignor or Jefferson Wicks. So toward the end of the movie, when Benoit Blanc, who is played by Daniel Craig, is sort of laying out what happened and then is going to lead to him saying who did the killing, he talks about where Jefferson Wicks was buried, and he was buried in a tomb on the property of this church. Now, Rian Johnson, the writer of this movie, is very, very specific with his words, as any good writer should be. So this is the dialogue that Rian Johnson wrote for Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc, to say about Jefferson Wicks and where he was buried.
A holy priest, struck down by no man, but by the hand of Satan himself, laid to rest in the sealed tomb of his father, but then risen by the will of God.
Did you catch that? Jefferson Wicks was buried in the same tomb that Prentice Wicks, his grandfather, was buried. So why did Benoit Blanc say, laid to rest in the tomb of his father, but then risen by the will of God? And in the subtitles, which I complain about Netflix subtitles all the fucking time, but they're not really known for this kind of error. His father was not capitalized, but God was. Also, Benoit Blanc is not a religious person, as established in the film. So he would not be saying laid to rest in the tomb of his father, meaning God, and then in the same sentence refer to God. Benoit Blanc is saying that Prentice Wicks was Jefferson Wicks' father and his grandfather. It was really hammered home for me when Glenn Close, or Martha, said this.
I see it now. That poor girl. Forgive me, Grace.
That is Martha realizing that the harlot whore was actually SA'd by Prentice Wicks, as in Grace's own father. I feel like I'm very, very right, especially given the kind of scandal that the Catholic Church goes through quite often. But I think that Rian Johnson is really fucking clever. And I think I'm really clever for figuring out just how clever Rian Johnson is.